guys. Right, let me just open my can of Coke. Apologies that I was late. I couldn't, I've got you like kind of up on something, fastened all together in a different place, and I couldn't make it work. Anyway, good morning. Welcome back. Today we're going to do a Friday Faves and Fails live, and the main reason for that was at the beginning of the week. I was also, the whole thing is like, we're kind of tilted off to the side, aren't we? At the beginning of this week, I was completely taken out by seasonal allergies, just like general hay fever stuff. I looked into it, apparently it's tree pollen, but I was just done. And my voice was getting crazier and crazier, and I kept thinking, I'll wait and I'll wait and I'll wait, and my voice will get better and then I'll film something. And it didn't really. I think it's probably a little bit better than it was at the beginning of the week, but here we are. So I'll try to be less annoying with the drinking noises. But let's kick off with a couple of things that were really disappointing this week, or have been really disappointing. I'm going to start with the one thing that I was like, do I mention it? Do I not mention it? Should I give it a benefit of the doubt? Probably should. And it is the Saint-Tropez Gradual Tanner. Thank you, Tracy. I feel a lot better this morning. I actually slept on the sofa, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So the Saint-Tropez Gradual Tanner, I don't have it with me because I couldn't remember where I put it when I used it the other day. But I picked this against the Dove one a couple of years ago, and I can't remember which one. And I have them both in this basket, and I was like, I'm going to do something. I'm going to put a bit of tan on, feel a bit more human. I'm going to do this. Anyway, I pulled out the Saint-Tropez one thinking that had been the overall winner. And it was so streaky. I applied it like the average person would apply a gradual tan. I always applied tan with a mitt, always. For several reasons. I think it's a more even application. I think the whole thing is better. Obviously you don't stain your hands. And at the time I hadn't had my nails redone. So excited. I mean, I'm back. By the time I hadn't had my nails redone, so I wasn't super bothered about staining my nails. Now I would go back to a mitt for that reason alone, because it can stain your nails. It's difficult to get, you just don't want that kind of like, almost like a nicotine look, which is not great when you're not a smoker. You don't really want that, which I know. My voice sounds like I am, but I swear I'm not. Anyway, so I used that on Saturday, Sunday, and I was pretty fully dressed the next day, so didn't really kind of inspect it. All but for I'd put Vicks on my chest because I felt so terrible. And this is the first time I put gradual tanner on in the longest time. So I put, within 2 hours of putting this gradual tanner on, I slathered Vicks all over my chest and thought, oh no, you've made a mistake. And the only thing I kind of checked out was, well, how does this look here? It kind of looked okay, but that was the only thing I really looked at. And then the next day, when I was shaving my legs, I looked at my legs properly. And they are so incredibly streaky. And I put this tan on, I kind of like danced around the room, wandered around, waiting for it to dry. I didn't get dressed straight away or anything. And it was so streaky. I was so disappointed. And I don't know whether or not it's because this is not a brand new bottle, whether or not that's actually the experience that I had when I filmed that video. I can't remember. But just super disappointed. And funnily enough, around this time of year, I always get extra comments, like new people finding those tan videos. Usually it's people who are watching them who already like the product and who are telling me off for not liking the product. That's usually what the comments are. So people telling me I've done it wrong or whatever. And in this one, someone said, because I'd used the mitt, this was a completely different video with a different tan, but in this one I got today, they'd said that a gradual tanner needs to be applied with your hands. And I just thought, does it? Does it need to be applied with your hands? Because I applied this gradual tanner, this other gradual tanner, this Saint-Tropez gradual tanner with my hands, and it is streaky AF. And I don't know if that's the experience that I had last time, but I think I would remember. I don't know. So long story short, long question short, do you guys apply gradual tanner? Number one, if you do you always apply it with your hands? Oh, same, Katie. I hate the smell of fake tan. That's absolutely what puts me off fake tan as well. I so rarely fake tan for me. If I'm fake tanning, 9 times out of 10, more than that, 99 times out of 100, it's for a video. This is the first time I have reached for a gradual tan when I'm not filming it in years. So I'm completely with you. I dislike the smell, generally don't like the upkeep, that sometimes they go a weird colour on me. There've been occasional ones that I've found and thought, actually I really like this, I would maybe do this. But possibly also because I associate it with work. I just am not super keen. Anyway, I was just kind of wondering why it went so streaky, because streaks in theory should, yeah, so someone else, several people saying they would definitely apply with their hands just because it's supposed to be easier. But streaks in theory are places that you've missed, right? I was just so disappointed with it. Anyway, so that's my number one. And I don't want to say that that's a terrible product, but I had a bad experience with it this week. The other thing, I've been using this for a couple of weeks, off and on, and I just don't like it. It's a 10 Miracle Moisture Shampoo. Nutrition for your hair, no added sulfates, which probably in itself tells you everything you need to know. They sent me this, the conditioner, and the Miracle Leave-In product. The Miracle Leave-In product I really, really like. Big fan. This, my hair has never felt clean after I've used it. And we've talked about this a lot recently. My hair feeling greasy as soon as I've washed it, just the whole thing being like, ugh. But this, I mean, let me tell you on the back what it says. If you've got oily hair, any of these things, no added sulfates, moisturizing lather, no, UV protectant, scalp soothing, antioxidant formula, creamy texture, enhances natural body, adds shine, protects against humidity, cuticle smoothing. The whole thing, I think, is if you've got damaged or dry hair, you're gonna love that. I don't need my shampoo to do 10 things. I need my shampoo to clean my hair, and I will do other things with other products. So it's just not, I'm not a fan. The conditioner is fine, but no, not a fan. And the other thing, I got this from my FabFitFun box last month before. CEO Glow Vitamin C Turmeric Face Oil. It's not that special. It's Sunday Riley, which is not cheap. I got a good deal on it because I got it through FabFitFun, so like there are always discounts when you buy products that they're selling through their little shop. It's not for me at all. I don't mean I'll continue to use it off and on just to use it up, or actually, you know what, I might just give it to someone else and see if they have a better experience, because it's quite a lot of product and it seems like a waste because I'm just not seeing any results at all from this product. And when I hauled it, when I said originally I'd purchased this, one person messaged me and said, or commented and said, Sunday Riley is their most disappointing product because every single time they've tried something, it's just not been any good. And I don't think I've tried anything from Sunday Riley and been impressed either. So throwing it out there just because it's expensive doesn't make it amazing. Right. I've got a couple of makeup things, obvs. I've been using the Aven Cleanance SPF 50. Is this the tinted one? I've got two. And now I'm looking at it. I don't think this is actually the tinted one. Where I've put the tinted one. Oh, there we go. So I've got the original one and I've got the tinted one. Also, now I've had my nails done, I hold my hands differently. Have you noticed? It made me laugh. The first time I ever had my nails done, I was in the car and random songs were like shuffling on my phone and Blue Cantrell came on and all of a sudden I knew all the words and I was like, it's the nails. That is what it is. It's the nails. Knows the songs. This is the Aven Cleanance Tinted Unifying SPF. So this is SPF 50, but it is not like an SPF that you would know. Same with the original, but obviously this is a tinted version. It's a very dry SPF. So if you have got very oily skin and you're like, today I'm wearing something completely different. No powder, no nothing. I'm going all in hydrating dewy. But if you're very oily and you just want something to throw on, maybe under makeup, maybe not under makeup, because it's quite mattifying and I find that sometimes that can kind of pill up, can't it? But it's just very, it doesn't leave a sheen, the original. Great. Then this one, I would say it doesn't leave a sheen, maybe the tiniest amount, but not like a regular SPF. More like a kind of matte or satin foundation. But you need a decent amount of product because it really absorbs very quickly. So you kind of get it all over your face and then it's just gone. There's no residue. You touch your face and it feels dry. So if you are looking for something like that, this is really, really good. The tint on this, I would say, it's not massively tinted, but it's quite deep, quite warm for the average tinted product. But I think this is the only one that they do. So there's nothing paler and there's nothing darker. And I will show you. I'm going to regret this immediately. I need to just... Have I got anything that I can get rid of this on afterwards? Yes. Here we go. So this is the tint. To be fair, it kind of is a great... It happens to be not a terrible match for me. But you can see it. So it is kind of... There you go. Kind of deep for me. It's fine because it's going to be summer and all that. But that's the only one they do. So, you know, there's going to be many people that that's not good for. And although it's not, it doesn't really give you any coverage, it's just a tint, it's definitely something to bear in mind. But the original is exactly the same formula, so a very kind of dry SPF, which is difficult to find. Today, I have on that Nivea Anti-Age SPF, which I can't, it's just slightly out of reach, which is much more hydrating. And the reason I'm wearing that is I'm wearing this today, which is the, see, this, nails, Miracle Second Skin Hybrid Foundation. Hydrate, Protect, Renew. I've got this in 03 Light. I did a video on this. The more I use it, the more I think the most important things are hydration underneath the product. And then I am applying it with a brush, which is just not what I expected at all, but I'm really liking it with a brush. I don't have the brush in front of me because I'm just the worst. Not prepared at all. I may as well get the SPF while I'm there. Right, okay. This is the brush. This should really just go into the favourites anyway because I use this all the time. And it's not a cheap brush. It was sent to me, but I would highly recommend. And if it disappeared, I would buy it again. It's the Heavenly Lux Complexion Perfection number 7 all over brush with a concealer on the other end. So this is from It Cosmetics. They sent me this ages ago. I actually haven't got another brush I like as much as this. I've had ones that I've liked a similar amount. I'm looking to see if I've got any in my little top drawer, but I don't think so. These tend to be my favourite kind of foundation brushes, but there's something about the amount of flexibility this has got. This is my favourite one for foundation. It's my favourite one for cream products on my cheeks. It's just a really, really good brush. And although usually I'm not a fan of, in my mind, unnecessarily expensive tools, I really do love that. Talking of unnecessarily expensive tools, I really desperately want that, you know, that infrared mask everyone's wearing. That red face mask. Oh, why is it so bad? I don't need it. I don't need it. But maybe I do need it. Maybe it'll change my face. So yeah, that's the main key, is applying it over something hydrating, applying it with a brush like that and just really buffing it in very quickly. And also using a decent amount of product, because again, the same as with this, weirdly, this is much drier than you would expect it to be because it's supposed to be a hydrating product, second skin. You think it's going to be kind of BB in texture. It's not. It's more like a thicker, there's not loads of coverage. You can completely still see through it to my skin. But it's a thicker, what would this be like? Very, very unusual. It's kind of almost like a stickiness to it. It does remind me of something, and I can't put my finger on it right now. But there's just kind of more to it. It's a thicker formula than you would expect it to be. It's not just a fluid, like you can blend it all out. It's gonna come to a point where it's staying where it is. It's difficult to describe, but I really wish I could remember the thing that it reminds me of. Not Foera, but kind of, because Foera has got that element to it where you get it out and you're like, oh, this is not going to blend very well. It's not that this won't blend, it's just, it's purely because I expected it to be so BB/tinted moisturiser in texture that it then feels like cement by comparison, which is not, of course. But I'm really enjoying this. I'm also today wearing this Sugar Ball Cushion Cheek Colour. I got this from Yes Style. So that's as much information as I can give you because the rest, like the whole back section, I'm going to say is Korean. It's, I mean, if anyone can read this, then go for it. I don't know why I thought that putting that closer to the camera was going to focus. It's my phone. It's not going to. But it's called the Sugar Ball Cushion Cheek Colour. Not even sure what colour this is specifically, but it looks like this. Little mirror, little pop out thing. This is so fantastic. I don't know what that black thing is. I pop it on. It's like a neon wash. It's the most amazing thing. And I got it out today and thought, why don't I wear this more often? So this is what it looks like on. Just like not much of anything. And then there's something about it. It's got kind of like a glow from within kind of quality. It's not just a coral. It's not just like a cream product. I don't know if it's the translucence of the product or what, but it's got kind of like a pop, like kind of almost a neon-y, peachy pop. This is not just pink or coral or whatever. It kind of has a lift to it. And you wouldn't imagine that looking from, you're like, it's kind of like a peachy thing, but it's not. And even in the thing, it's just like there's something, it's almost like a muted neon. What else did I have to tell you about? Looking around. Oh, this. When I've been wearing my hair curly recently, not today, but recently, it's always been this. This is the, what does AF stand for? It's from Primark. It's a hairdresser and I can't remember. But it's their hair care line. This is actually Ella's. It costs £12, I believe. It's great. I mentioned this in a vlog. What did I... Oh, do you know what? We're doing a shop with me at Primark on Sunday. I already filmed that last weekend, thankfully. Will say, was slightly disappointed. Spoiler alert, I didn't buy anything. I went around the whole store, was quite disappointed. I don't know if it was a stock thing. I don't know if because I waited a week to go, all the best stuff had been picked over. It didn't seem like that. It seemed quite well stocked. I just wasn't into it at all, which was surprising. But I mentioned it in this video, and I also mentioned it in another vlog, and someone asked me how much it was, whether or not I would recommend it. I really, really, really would. Andrew Fitzsimmons, thank you, Tracy. I really would recommend this. It heats up quickly, but you don't need that much heat to actually curl your hair. It can kind of like be warm to touch, and it will still curl your hair. The curls are holding relatively well, and it's just easy to use. I'd like a larger one, because in certain sections of my hair, that doesn't work super well. But that's it in terms of products. Now, let's talk about TV. We don't have all day, because I've got to take the kids to school, but we're going to talk about TV briefly. Yesterday, I rewatched the final episode of Brothers and Sisters. In my mind, the music started playing. I love Brothers and Sisters. It's been on it's like been rewatching it for months, off and on, like in bits. I tend to have it on in the background when I'm doing things, and then more recently I've been like really actually properly watching it, because I didn't really remember what had happened at the end, and I was getting more and more invested in it, and I just can't recommend it enough. Now, just to kind of give you a quick sell without giving too much away, in the very, very first episode, Sally Field is the mom of all of these grown-up children, and they all kind of have their own dynamic and issues and whatever, but they all come together and have dinner and argue and whatever. They cover multiple ways of life in the different age groups, where they're all living in the country, masses of different what's the word I'm looking for? Career paths. There's they touch on like homophobia. They go on or touch on political differences. So the family is kind of split, red and blue, and they argue about politics all of the time. But the whole thing in the beginning is Sally Field is like the mother of this family. In the very, very first episode, slight spoiler, but in the very, very first episode, the dad dies and leaves behind all of these secrets that start to come out after he's died, and everyone's like in a spin trying to figure out who was he actually, what is going on, yada yada. So that's kind of the general gist of the show. It does kind of draw you in, because you want to know, well, what did that mean? And they're always, even in the very final episode, they're like finding letters or finding photographs and being like, who is this? It's the way they perpetuated that was incredible for me. I thought it kept me interested constantly. Even rewatching it, I was still like, who is that? And I just so enjoyed it. The cast is fantastic. It's got Calista Flockhart in it. My jumper is from Asda very recently, Natalia. And who else has it got in it? The guy from The Americans. Sorry, I slept on the sofa last night because I've had this like ridiculous hay fever cough thing, which is a postnasal drip. For those of you who know, it's super gross, but that is what causes it. I felt so guilty that I was coughing in the night. Not in the day, fine in the day, but at night. That I slept on the sofa last night and I was trying to kind of sit up so that I wouldn't cough. And I actually feel well rested. And I think probably because I'm waking up and then feeling guilty and trying not to cough. But Lee said he didn't know I was coughing anyway, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm tired. So Brothers and Sisters, I told my friend to watch Brothers and Sisters yesterday and she was like, fine, okay, I'm going to start watching it. And immediately on Amazon Prime, it's like, this is going to be gone in 10 days. So I apologise. Also, Palm Springs, which has just come to Prime as well. We watched that last year through nefarious means and I totally forgot about it. It's just come to Prime. One of the best movies I've seen in ages. That and I will talk about this again when it comes on something to watch properly. But something young woman, what is it called? Not pleasing. Promising young woman. That, Palm Springs and that, two of the best movies that I watched last year. Definitely. Promising Young Woman, off the charts insane, and I won't tell you anything about it, and I would recommend that you watch it with absolutely no information. Palm Springs is like a Groundhog Day situation, but very, very, very clever and totally unexpected. I think that's why I enjoyed both of those movies. They were just, I couldn't tell where they were going at all. Right, let me just run through these comments, see what I might have missed, and then we're going. Okay, saw adverts for Coco and Eve tan on Instagram. Sounds like the best thing in the world. Love you if you check the ad and tried it out. See if it lives up to the claims. I will check it out. I remember hearing about Coco and Eve last year. Oh, I apply all gradual tanners with a mitt. Excellent to know. What face cream is okay for dry skin? That is a video in itself. Loved Brothers and Sisters, amazing cast. Oh, and then people talking about Line of Duty, which I've still never seen. Waiting for a new series based on my favourite fantasy series. Drops today on Netflix, Shadow and Bone. Oh, I might watch that. Again, rewatching Line of Duty. I keep seeing Promising Young Woman on Sky. We'll have to watch. If Promising Young Woman is on Sky, you all need to watch it immediately. It's so good. So good. It's such a good film. I mean, again, don't just watch it. Don't look into what it is, because Lee and I watched it and within the first 2 minutes you're like, whoa. It just grabs you in because you can't imagine where this is going to go, but also you weren't expecting this to happen. But there is like a Me Too theme, if you want something. Do you still use safety razors thinking about making the switch? I do. Right, okay, so Promising Young Woman was last Friday's premiere. Yeah, you will need to watch it immediately. Right, I'm going to go and take the children to school now. Thanks for joining me. If you've made it this far, then I'm assuming this hasn't been a problem. But rewatching this back, I know that in the past people have said that when I've done these lives, the ads have been insane. But that was towards the end of the month. I did a whole video about this, and we were talking about like whether or not, like how they decide when to put the ads on. And I think, or when to put excessive ads on, because someone was saying it's like every 2 minutes. Whereas another live will have no ads at all. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It does depend on the time of the month. I thought we're not right at the end of the month, so this might not be quite as bad. Also depends on the length of the video. The longer the video is, they tend to get something a bit crazy. But I just kind of want to put it out there. If you've watched this back later and the ads have been insane, it wasn't intentional. I never do anything with my ads. I never change them at all. I just let everything run automatically. So sometimes there are no ads. Sometimes there are 15,000 ads. I don't get it. Right. I'm going to go. I'm gonna go. I am feeling actually loads better. You're kind of the first people I've spoken to today. Because I got like rolled out of bed, threw on some makeup and was like, do this, sort the kids out, come back home and work. So I'm just kind of, oh, Brothers and Sisters on Disney Plus. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to tell Karen immediately. Right. But yeah, I'm not, like, my throat isn't tickling so much anymore. Oh, I should probably throw this in as a favourite. Becco Defense Plus. This has definitely been a favourite. This is some excellent allergy nose spray. But I'm feeling a lot better, so fingers crossed next week we'll be back to normal. Because I did skip a video this week. Okay. Right. I'll see you later. Bye.